To be my best self in another environment, whether it's a job or a TV show, I still have to maintain who I am outside of that career. And that is very much me being a YouTuber.
On April 23, 2005, YouTube co-founder Javed Karim uploaded the site's first ever video, introducing the world to the new video sharing platform that would revolutionize the ways in which we interact with video content forevermore.
Alright, so here we are in front of the elephants. Cool thing about these guys is that they have really long fronts, and that's cool. And that's pretty much all there is to say.
While some may have predicted the platform's explosive popularity and its transformation into the nearly infinite and ever-expanding video depository that is YouTube today, it's likely that few could have foreseen the platform's unique ability to allow us to interact and connect with stars in a more intimate, open, and accessible way than any other medium. As a platform that hands the torch of production to its array of creators to do with as they please, a certain aesthetic was tacitly formed amongst early YouTube vloggers that carried on over the years. As some vloggers made their transition into stars, it became clear that the level to which audience members could identify with and connect to those YouTubers was far different from the distanced connection an audience may form with professionalized Hollywood celebrities. YouTube provides an outlet that allows YouTube stars such as Tyler Oakley, Jenna Marbles, and Hannah Hart welcome their audiences into their homes in the form of an intimate vlog as they confide in their viewers with personal, candid, and open displays of back region behavior that is accessible at any time of day or night. By providing audience members with this level of intimate access of information that has otherwise never been accessible for a traditional celebrity, YouTube has changed how audience members affiliate themselves with the stars of YouTube and has begun to blur the once distinct lines between fan and star. This notion developed from Professor Joshua Meiritz's analysis of three interrelated social roles: group identity, role transition, and hierarchy, to explain. By changing the types of situations to which each social category has access, new media may change our conceptions of a wide range of social roles. His analysis of one social role in particular, group identity, allows us to gain insight into how YouTube has affected social behavior in terms of how we identify with certain YouTube stars. Meyerowitz analyzes group identity in terms of three variables: relative access to social information, backstage and onstage distinctions, and access to physical locations, and the arguments he asserts regarding new media for each variable can be applied to YouTube. In terms of relative access to social information, Meyerowitz explains a significant element in all human associations and groupings is the need for shared yet special experiences. This element of specialness distinguishes members of the group from the other or those not in the group sharing its experiences. Meyerowitz argues change in the structure of situations, as a result of changes in media or other factors, will change people's sense of us and them, and suggests that when predicting the effects of new media on group identities, we must consider how the new medium alters who shares social information with whom. When considering how YouTube has changed our sense of us and them, it's useful to begin by examining Meyerowitz's concept of paraproxemics in relation to YouTube's intimate vlogging format. Building upon Edward Hall's theory of proxemics, which explains how our relationships with others can be defined by our choice to use a certain spatial distance with specific people, Meyerowitz's theory of paraproxemics suggests, in a particular shot, the way in which a person is framed may suggest an interpersonal distance between that person and the viewer. First, imagine how you may perceive a relationship with a traditional star. You're at the movies and George Clooney or Scarlett Johansson is framed in a close-up shot staring deep into your eyes. It's nearly impossible to not feel a connection. But the celebrities of television and film often grace our screens with all the bells and whistles of professionalized entertainment. Glamour squads, professional studios, a team of experts, and a budget to match. And while we love the Hollywood glitz, it often makes it harder to really connect with those stars on a personal level when we know they're in an entirely different world than the average person. Here's where YouTube begins to change that structure between us and them. In terms of production variables, many YouTube stars utilize a fairly close-up, stable, and eye-level shot. The close-up enhances the intimate distance, while the eye-level shot suggests a peer status, allowing viewers to sense a paraproxemic relationship of that of a friend or a best friend who just sat down to have a direct one-to-one conversation with the viewer. Not only does it make it feel like a real interaction, but also allows the viewer to feel as though they're part of the group, rather than an outsider observing from afar. Additionally, YouTube's ability to thrive is in part due to the fact that it's an amateur-driven platform. While amateur production isn't as polished or professionalized in the content of television and film, it adds a level of authenticity to their content that fans often view as more genuine and relatable. It's also important to note that while television and film have high barriers to entry, literally anyone can upload content to YouTube. Now, I'm not saying you'll become YouTube famous, especially considering the sheer volume of vloggers and content producers on the platform, but by holding the information needed to enter into the group of YouTubers, it no longer stamps us with the label of other, as Hollywood still does. This level of access into the group is intensified by the backstage behavior that so many YouTube stars present to their audiences. Meyerowitz argues, since a clear sense of us depends on the sharing of each other's backstage behavior, and because a clear sense of them depends on not having access to others' groups' backstage behaviors, a change in media may rearrange a society's group identities by offering new ways of revealing or hiding the backstage behaviors of many groups. What makes YouTube vlogging so unique in relation to other roles is the level of candid information YouTubers are willing to share with their audiences.
Because I have just been thinking all these thoughts that I have to share with you. I just have to.
In fact, it's encouraged. The intentions of a Hollywood film aren't for you to imagine the hours of script readings or rehearsals that went into the performance, or to give you insight on the hidden secrets of what each actor does in their free time. Yes, tabloid magazines provide us with a sneak peek into these backstage behaviors, but a distinct line between backstage and onstage behaviors is highly sought after and cherished by these professionals. In discussing backstage and onstage distinctions, Meyerowitz relates the shared roles between members of a group to Erving Goffman's notion of teaming, which expresses, members of a team are distinguished from members of the audience by their perspective on the situation and by the amount of information they have concerning the performance. By openly welcoming millions into their private spaces and confiding in their audiences with a range of personal and candid topics,
I'm a really insecure person.
It allows viewers to team themselves with the YouTuber portrayed. Rather than seeing themselves as part of the audience, by presenting fans with an intimate and personal front, it helps to rearrange a fan's role as audience member and other into the member of the team. Finally, in relation to access to physical location, Meyerowitz suggests, severing the traditional link between physical location and social situation, electronic media may begin to blur previously distinct group identities by allowing people to escape informationally from place-defined groups and by permitting outsiders to invade many groups' territories without ever entering them. While new media as a whole typically undermines the traditional link between distinct physical location and access to a group, the internet especially has broken down any geographical barriers needed for affiliating oneself with others. Just as television allows you to access an array of content and information from your living room, that level of access is taken a few steps further when YouTubers welcome you into their personal spaces. By accessing intimate information in this personal setting, it further transitions that role from outsider into member of the group any time of day or night from any location. It's difficult to pinpoint what exactly makes YouTube such an appealing platform to so many on a personal level, but its ability to provide a means for YouTubers to connect and identify with their fans on a more intense level than any other medium is clear. Every day, we see mainstream media cross into the once amateur realm of YouTube, either to mimic the successful amateurism by uploading their own professionalized content, or to lure amateur creators into the world of traditional media in order to attract larger and more diverse audiences. Children in the last decade have grown accustomed to this convergence of YouTube and traditional media, tuning into television content that reflects the nature of the platform, or rather choosing YouTube videos as their main source of entertainment. While it's unclear whether the paths of mass entertainment industries and YouTube will intertwine into a converging network of production, it's clear that YouTube has begun to affect social behavior like no other medium. By transforming the ways in which audience members can affiliate themselves with stars, YouTube has begun to blur the once distinct lines between fan and star, and has given audience members a means to interact, connect, and create like never before.